Hey guys, Paul here with Late Night Games. This is day 29 of our VEDA challenge, and let's get started. So first off, I'm doing this actually fairly early in the morning on the 30th of April. Reason being, I kind of passed out for the entire evening / night of May 29th. April 29th. April! I'm not that far in the future yet. Reason I passed out is I hadn't actually slept in the past 2 days, but let me tell you why. So Monday was our Pudgy Pee-Pee challenge, so I didn't have a chance to tell you guys what was going on really after the vlog on Sunday night. And Sunday night, after the vlog, where I was extraordinarily depressed, I mean, that sadness on camera, that was real. Like, I actually felt really upset. I made a personal decision, and that personal decision was, I'm gonna get rid of one of the stresses in my life. Regardless of how I do it, I'm gonna get rid of one of them. Now, I can't make my mother better in an instant. That's gonna take time and effort from everyone's part. I can't make the stress of work and the stress of financial life and whatnot go away immediately. I mean, that takes time to pay shit off. But these are things that as long as I'm on top of them, they will eventually go away. But what can I get rid of immediately? The biggest burning stress in my life that I could immediately fix? Kit. But as I mentioned, he was at a point where it would not be easy to fix him, and I didn't know if I could fix him. So would I be able to fix him, or would I just be able to fix the situation? And if so, does that mean getting rid of Kit and moving on and trying to go forward with my life and stop dwelling on Kit? Well, my decision was that I would work. I would work on this Firebird until I could work no more. I would not sleep until either he was back up and running or I finally accepted the fact that I cannot do this and move forward. So Sunday, after the vlog, I immediately went down to the car, started gutting it, pulling the seats out, pulling the dashboard apart, and getting it all out of the way so it's easier for me to work on inside the car. It's a lot easier to work on a car when there's no interior in it to get in the way. You can actually sit there on your hands and knees underneath the dash without having to worry about, there's a giant seat behind your ass. I took a shopping list of all the items I would need. I needed a whole bunch of fuses. I needed some wires because there were some wires that looked a little smoldered. Mind you, these wires didn't look like they were corroded all the way through, but there was a section of them that did look like there was some burn. So I wanted to replace all of these. So then came Monday, and Monday I came in the house, I did my work for the day, and then as soon as I finished work, I did the Pudgy Pee-Pee challenge with Rob, and then immediately went to Canadian Tire, a local car part store, bought a bunch of wiring, a bunch of fuses, a couple of battery cables, and I came home and I immediately got to work. Now this was about 8:30 at night and I, under the light of a cell phone flashlight and nothing more throughout the entire night in the rain, managed to get everything I needed to get done. And by 7:20 a.m., after replacing probably, good 100 some odd random wires in the dash, going from the computer to various parts and going down the steering column, because the steering column was where most of the damage looked like it was, and having taken the battery cables off the battery and off where they mount to the engine, and then taking a homemade acid solution I made with CLR and vinegar and scrubbing down the actual battery connection itself where it connects to the car. Now, to clean the battery terminals, I managed to make use of something I've had for years. You see this, my friends, I've shown you on many tours. It's the part that was used in Back to the Future for the handle to turn the time circuits on and off. I had to do a lot of research online, found somewhere that was still selling the old part from the 80s they used for it, but this isn't just a handle. Actually, the handle was a secondary design. What it is, if you look close, it's got these nice bristles in here. Let me get some light on it. These nice bristles in here, and these nice bristles here, and this nice steel brush here. It's a battery terminal cleaner. So using the handle for the DeLorean I've had for years, combined with the homemade acid solution, I was able to clean off the part of the engine where the battery mounts to and clean out the inside of that hole and make sure all whatever corrosion and rust that was there was completely gone. And then by the end of the night, 7:20 a.m., I got everything put back together, and Kit lives again. So I took it for a test drive to make sure everything was all up to snuff, and it took about an hour and a half to do the complete rounds, because I started just leaving it standing still, then backed it in and out of my driveway a few times to make sure it didn't stall, then took it around my block, then around the major block, which is like the major streets around my area, skipping all the little streets. Then I took it to the next town over, which is Waterloo. Then I took it from Waterloo to Cambridge and back to Kitchener, and no problems at all. So Kit is back. Kit is back to life. I don't know if it was the battery cables that I replaced that made a difference. I don't know if it was the acid wash and the cleaning of the engine where the battery cables mount that was the issue, or if it was those smolder wires that were in the steering column and going to the computer and going to the fuse box. It could have been any of the above. I don't know. All I know is I decided to replace them all. When I put everything back together to go for my test drive, I realized I had forgot to fix my RPM gauge and my gas gauge, which had been dead for years, so that's for another project. For now, I'm just glad that my baby's back on the road. It's brought one of the 3 major stresses off of my chest. Unfortunately, because of the 2 days of zero sleep, when 5 o'clock came after work last night, I was in and out of sleep. I could not stay awake. I'd wake up for a few minutes, talk to people, and back unconscious I would go. I just couldn't keep conscious long enough to do really anything. Played a game or two of League, but every time I went out to the living room to get all the gear to start putting this together, because it was still in the living room from the Pudgy Pee-Pee challenge, and instead I just passed out in the living room on the couch and then woke up this morning. So while a little late, this is your April 29th VEDA challenge video. I will still see you later today with our Q&A, and although you guys haven't asked any questions, I'm gonna find questions online to answer. Whether I just look up random questions or something, I'll figure something out. But I will see you guys tomorrow, today. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.